Nicolas Raskin's future at Rangers has become one of the major talking points heading into the January window, with growing indications that a significant development could be on the horizon. Interest in the midfielder has intensified in recent weeks, and the club now find themselves weighing up their options as sizable offers begin to circle. With speculation mounting and the player's situation shifting throughout the season, Rangers may soon be forced into a decision that few expected earlier in the campaign. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Rangers have made their stance abundantly clear ahead of the January transfer window. Nicolas Raskin is not for sale unless a huge bid lands on the table. Despite months of speculation surrounding the midfielder's future, including suggestions he had grown unsettled earlier in the season, the Ibrox hierarchy are determined to keep hold of one of their most valuable assets. The uncertainty began when Raskin clashed with Russell Martin during the early stages of the campaign, a disagreement that quickly placed several interested clubs on alert. Premier League sides and a handful of top European outfits have continued to monitor the Belgium international closely, with some believing he could be tempted into a fresh challenge. One source described the situation by saying, "There was interest in Raskin in the summer window from a number of clubs in the Premier League and across Europe as well. At one stage, an exit appeared almost inevitable. Raskin had fallen out of favour, was left out of key matches, and murmurs emerged that he might push for a January departure." But his resurgence under Danny Röhl has shifted the picture dramatically after forcing his way back into the starting 11 and delivering a series of strong performances. Talk of a mid-season move has cooled. The club are now intent on blocking any approach by attaching a considerable price tag to the midfielder. As one insider put it, "I don't think Rangers ideally would want to lose him midway through the season. It would have to be a big fee for Rangers to even consider selling him." That stance appears to have made an impact. At present, those tracking the 23-year-old are understood to be unwilling to meet the level of investment Rangers would demand. With Raskin sitting on 18 months left of his current deal, Rangers still face a strategic decision further down the line. A lucrative summer sale has not been dismissed, especially if negotiations over a new contract fail to materialize. For now though, the message from Ibrox is firm. January is not the time. I'm not sure the clubs that are interested in Raskin would be willing to fork out that money in January for the midfielder, a source said, hinting that a longer-term approach from suitors could be more realistic. The player's own position has also softened. Having regained his place under Röhl, Raskin is understood to be more settled and content to stay for the second half of the season. Spurs and Leeds United are among the clubs continuing to keep tabs on his status, but any formal move appears unlikely unless circumstances change significantly. Some within the Scottish game have already warned Rangers to tread carefully. Ally McCoist was among those critical of how Raskin was handled earlier in the campaign, insisting that poor management might drive the midfielder towards the exit door. The dynamic now looks healthier, but the story is far from over. Rangers were preparing for bids late in the summer window, even though none ultimately arrived, with interest still bubbling away and the midfielder's contract slowly running down. The club know that transfer pressure will return. For now though, the stance remains unwavering. Only an extraordinary offer will test their resolve in January. In other news, Rangers decision makers have been urged to tread carefully as they approach what is fast becoming one of the most delicate contract dilemmas at the club: the future of James Tavernier. The long-serving captain is out of contract at the end of the season, and as things stand, there has been no indication from Ibrox that an extension is in the works, with the team struggling for form across all competitions. Tavernier has once again emerged as one of the few players consistently stepping up, leaving the board and recruitment team with a significant call to make. Football journalist Chris Jack believes the club cannot afford to simply allow the 34-year-old to walk away, but he insists any new deal must be sensible and structured, rather than a reward handed out on sentiment. Speaking on the outlet's Thursday morning briefing show on the 13th of November, Jack said the issue would only grow in significance as the months roll on. Tav, I know that will be a big issue. It is going to be a big talking point as the campaign goes on and his contract gets nearer to the end, Jack explained. He suggested that the picture might have looked very different had Max Aarons arrived and cemented himself as the club's long-term right-back. If Max Aarons had looked like he was going to be the Rangers right-back for the next 3 seasons, then I think it becomes an easier question, but he has not. Given that context, Jack believes Rangers have backed themselves into a corner with no clear successor in place. Allowing Tavernier to depart would create a recruitment headache of its own. If you allow Tav to leave, you need 2 right-backs, he warned later in the discussion. He was even more direct about what an extension should look like. I would have no issue with him getting another contract. It has to be on reduced terms, it can't be on still big money, and another 3 years that would be daft. Jack's assessment highlights a reality that the club cannot ignore. Tavernier remains the most experienced player in the squad, having spent a decade at Ibrox after joining in 2015. Across those 10 years, he has amassed 537 appearances, a figure few modern Rangers players come close to matching. His attacking output is exceptional for a defender, with 136 goals and 145 assists, numbers that place him in company with elite attacking fullbacks across Europe. While critics point to the club's failure to win more silverware during his tenure, that cannot be laid solely at his door. It reflects the many structural challenges Rangers have faced over that period. Despite being in the twilight of his career, Tavernier continues to deliver in decisive moments. This season alone, he has already contributed 6 goals and 3 assists, once again dragging the team forward during a period when performances elsewhere in the squad have fallen well below expectations. Letting him go would not only force Rangers to find a new starting right-back, but also a dependable backup, a daunting task for a recruitment department already under scrutiny. With other areas of the squad crying out for investment, replacing Tavernier twice over simply does not seem realistic, given his influence, his consistency, and the sheer scale of the rebuild required elsewhere. Extending Tavernier's stay at Ibrox appears the most pragmatic option available. The challenge for Kevin Thelwell and the board is ensuring that any new deal reflects both the club financial reality and the captain's ongoing value. A balance Rangers cannot afford to get wrong. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.